It's Nolan. Yeah, success pending from the moment I wake. These tastemakers still blocking, so I'm flooding the gates. I study the greats, watch my environment, understanding assignment, divinity, striving for early retirement. I'm focused. Nobody showed me how to get it, so I got myself. Built the rotation like a timing belt. I used to really want plaques, the fame chasing, had us breaking our backs. They advertise everything that we lack. My dog Chino kept the heat in his slacks. Sound crazy, the generation of crack babies. The late 80s and early 90s when it was grimy. That's what designed me, defined me. Didn't have no Abercrombie, too broke to have a hobby. Food desert Mojave. Stop on them ramen noodles. Them kids nappy on them perks. You gotta check they pupils. Popping on IG with school IDs. Can't tell them nothing till they hook the IVs. I've been crossing my T's, dotting my I's. Watching online, the money coming, just a sign of the times. I put in years though. Rappers flipping bars that I created from years ago. I just can't feel them like doctors refusing physicals. Whoa, I shattered their dreams and gluing back together. This is Kyrie verse. Kimber, you act like y'all don't remember how 97 the Netflix. Patreon on my guest list. I don't speak to the check it. I'm devising my exit. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everyone's doing well out there this afternoon. So I just got an update that Drake has received a hearing date for the petition that he's filed against UMG. Of course, on behalf of Not Like Us. He's not suing Kendrick Lamar, but his song Not Like Us is a very vital piece within both petitions that Drake has filed, one with the state of New York, the other with the state of Texas. But I believe the hearing that is happening on December 20th is going to be about the one in New York against UMG and Spotify, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Now, I saw that there were some pages out there posting this information earlier today, and I couldn't really find a good publication or good reputable source that was going to actually confirm that this has been put out there. But now I see that there's a news clip that's circulating online where they spoke about this on national television. So I'm guessing that this is a real thing. I also see that Hot New Hip Hop has also covered it, because I just seen a bunch of like Drake fan pages that were talking about Drake has a date December 20th. And I'm like, court date? What the fuck? But I believe what's going to happen is the petition that he's filed is going to be looked over by a judge, and they're going to verify whether or not it has credence, whether or not he's going to have the right to depose people from UMG, Spotify, to try to get some answers, to try to open up the books and all of these different things. Of course, we already know all of the information about Drake's petition. We've talked at length about it. We've done multiple videos about it. People across YouTube have done multiple videos about it. Attorneys across, have done videos about it. The whole industry has talked about this thing. So I don't want to revisit that all the way. But as this thing is kind of getting some wind behind it and moving forward to see where it's going to go, just wanted to come through and provide an update. According to Hot New Hip Hop, they say late last month, Drake decided to take legal action against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's hit diss track, Not Like Us. In a pre-action petition, he accuses UMG and Spotify of using bots, Payola, and more to artificially inflate the popularity of the song. He also accuses UMG of defamation, alleging that they could have prevented the release of the song, in which Kendrick accuses him of being a predator. Okay? In a quote, they say, UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices. That's from the petition. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves. Now, a hearing has been scheduled for December 20th, according to Kirko. See, that's the thing. Kirko is not a reputable source. Kirko is a motherfucking page on Twitter that posts hip-hop updates, but they're very much so locked in with posting Drake. They were one of the first pages out there to post push-ups in its original form, the leaked version, right after like academics and all that shit. But they had like the CD quality version. Anyway, they say it remains to be seen what exactly will play out in this case, but of course, social media users have their theories. There have been mixed reactions to Drake's petition since news of it hit the internet. Some think Drake has a chance of exposing alleged corruption in the music industry. Others think that this just makes him look jealous of Kendrick Lamar's success. Okay? So there's what we have from Hot New Hip Hop. Now let's get to the news and their coverage of it. It's a very short piece, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up so you can see that there's somebody outside of internet trolls posting about this thing.
Okay, so Lamar hasn't said anything, Spotify hasn't said anything, but Universal Music Group did put out a statement denying the claim, saying they are offensive and untrue, and says the fans choose the music they want to hear. So I'm curious, what kind of evidence does Drake need to find in order to file a lawsuit?
Well, like you said, we already have a hearing date for December 20th, so it's what, 15 days from today, where Drake is looking for information, not necessarily evidence, but who can I subpoena? Who can I ask, either in an oral deposition where someone just gives testimony of, I saw this getting paid, I saw this getting moved, I saw this, or whatever it may be, or they get to submit written questions to ask those questions. They'll take that information and then kind of create a full-throated lawsuit where they'll make stronger accusations based on the evidence they've found. If you've seen something, you've heard something, any kind of paper trail, that all works for them.
So again, what's the difference between a legal petition and a lawsuit?
So we all probably know lawsuits. You did something wrong to me, I want money from it, especially if you have a civil lawsuit. A petition is kind of like the precursor to a lawsuit. In this specific type of petition, both in Texas and New York, Drake is saying, give my attorneys the power to subpoena. As an attorney, I have the ability to go to a court and say, you know what, this person did something wrong. Let me use my subpoena power to force them into court, to ask them questions. And if they choose not to, then there could be contempt of court, whether it be civil or criminal liability. And that's what Drake wants. Give me that subpoena power so I can go get the information that I want.
So this is what I'm curious about. If, let's just play if Drake is right and there were some sort of bots or pay-to-play scheme that's at play here, is that illegal? Does that become a case?
So don't forget, UMG is the parent company to both Drake and Kendrick Lamar's recording kind of contracts, and also their recording labels. And so if UMG, the parent company, is creating a scheme where they're benefiting one person to harm the other, that could be a damages in terms of loss of wages, loss of reputation, loss of future wages. And I'm gonna bet probably my last dollar that there's something in Drake's contract that says you can't pit one person against the other. This might be a plan for Drake to simply break out of his contract, get out of it, and take his money and his business elsewhere.
Does he have to prove it was Does he have to prove that it harms him, or because could UMG just be trying to promote Lamar?
Well, let's think about it this way. If ABC wanted to promote Darian Sutton, not Brian Buckmeyer, I think it might be an argument to say, you know what, we're both the same team. Why would you harm one over the other? Just because I get it. We love Darian, he's dreamy, I've seen his headshots.
He's dreamy.
I get it, but Brian wants some love too, all right? So that's kind of how that legal action works.
Ain't that about a bitch? They talking about Drake shit on goddamn Good Morning America. Shit. Is that the type of damn boy? Anyway, so as y'all can see there, he's got a date coming up on December 20th. The judge is gonna look at it and determine whether he has enough information to move forward with a lawsuit, depose people, try to ruffle some feathers, see some paperwork. You know what I'm saying? To get to the bottom of whether or not UMG is championing Kendrick Lamar and basically allowing the investment into Kendrick Lamar to supersede his in an effort to take him down. Now, of course, I've voiced my opinion about these petitions. I think they're two loads of hot, acidy horseshit. But at the same time, the guy made a decent point. You know what I'm saying? Similar to what I've been saying before. Drake may either, it doesn't seem like he wants to retire. I feel like it's in his best interest to go ahead and retire, because once people associate you with this type of activity, after taking an L to the magnitude that you've taken, it doesn't look good on you. But we have seen people like Gunna, who people have accused of being a snitch, right? And he came out and dropped some of the biggest music of his career. He got himself in shape, and he took a whole nother form into the music industry with his fan base. So perhaps Drake has been studying Gunna and saying, shit, well, if he's been able to maneuver out here safely, still put out records, go on tour, make money, just imagine what somebody like I could do with that same type of movement. There's going to be people that hate me, but the folks that love me are just going to double down even more. They're going to spend more money. They're going to buy more merch. They're going to, kind of take a Trumpian effect, right? Because a lot of people don't fuck with Trump, but the people that do, they fuck with him so hard that they're willing to buy whack ass, cheap ass watches for multiple thousands of dollars, even though the shit ain't even worth it, right? So I guess he's weighing the pros and cons and saying, you know what? If I make this look like I'm going against the industry, I try to strong arm my way out of the contract. Because again, if there's some contempt of court or something like that, it only makes him look good, which would probably make UMG, just be like, you know what, this relationship is sour. We'll sever ties with this motherfucker. Fuck him. We'll find somebody else to replace him. We'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? We'll quadruple down on the acts that we already have that are making us multiple millions of dollars. He could eat a dick. You know what I'm saying? You think you're more important than the program? We've invested into you. We've built you from ground zero all the way up to now, and you think you're gonna pull this on us? Like we can't live without you? Shh. We'll show you better than we could tell you. So that's kind of what we have here. Again, from my personal perspective, this all looks very weak. Looks like a load of horse shit. I don't think he's really going to find too much that's not already revealed in paperwork. I'm sure a corporation like Universal, by now, if they have bot farms, if they have any connection to radio in which they're paying, which of course they do, for advertising. We broke down that whole advertising thing. If you want to watch that video, you can. We're not going to go through that here. But everything's already cooked into the books to show that we have above board. We have all of the proper ways of paying and promoting our artists. And we do this thing for Kendrick. We do this thing for Drake. You could look at our entire catalog. We do the same for everybody. So what is it that you're looking for, right? Now he wants to see Cash App. Now he wants to see Venmo. Now he wants to see any other outside form of payment to see if anyone's doing some under the table type of jobs. But again, if we're talking $2,500 transactions here, $2,500 there, that ain't gonna cut it, buddy, because that ain't shit when we're talking about multi-billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar corporations. $2,500 ain't gonna do shit. And you know that. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to the allegations of Payola, we've got Ebro from Hot 97 / Apple Music, and he's come out and he takes a bit of umbrage to Drake alleging that Universal is doing some sort of underhanded payola in order to improperly promote Kendrick Lamar over Drake. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the video of him speaking on the situation, giving his perspective from a radio program director. You know what I'm saying? We can't take that away from him. I don't always agree with the things that he says. I don't always like the shit that he says. You know what I'm saying? But he is a program director in the music industry. He would know better than the majority of us how radio works because he's the man in the seat at Hot 97 that's been running that ship for damn near 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and hear what him, Nadeska, and all of them over there at Apple Music have to say about the situation in terms of payola and all the types of, the little trickery that Drake is trying to run on the people right now. Okay?
OVO fans, how do you feel? Hip hop fans, we're seeing how a lot of people feel. Like we said, the court of public opinion clearly doesn't seem to favor how Drake's moving. But I think it's also, for those that care about the business, the music industry, I do think it's a historic moment. Right? Like for learning purposes, depending on, no matter what side you're on, how does this play out for Drake? He's somebody that's had tremendous success. I mean, listen, I've worked in, like I said, in the radio business and the media for 30 years. There's always allegations of payola, right? I've been investigated. People I've worked with have been investigated, and nothing has ever come to fruition around anything when I've been in a lawsuit, right? Because I don't take money. The reason I've never taken money is because it disables your ability to say fuck off when you hate a song. Which is why I've always been able to sit in front of y'all and go, that shit sucks, right? But if you're on payroll for a specific label or whatever, you've removed your ability to say some shit sucks. They're paying your bills. So I don't take that money, right? Which It's also why I don't get a lot of interviews and I don't get a lot of promotion and I don't get a lot of things. And
bro, you get all of those things. What are you talking about? You've managed to speak your truth all the time and still do all of those things, which I think is
I've
dope.
never sat with Kanye. I've never sat with Hov. I've never sat with Beyonce.
Oh, well,
I haven't
those
had
are
a Kendrick Lamar interview since he's been big. Drake has never come to sit with me before.
Okay, fine. He was trying to
Rihanna,
name,
I've never had
the
an
greatest
interview
of
with.
the greatest of the greats.
J. Cole has never come. I've never had an interview with J. Cole.
And this is where I got to cut in, right? So now he's using these artists as an example, but what does that have to do with Payola? Are you trying to insinuate that none of these artists sit down with you because your opinion can't be paid for, or because you're not willing to take direct payments from artists or their team in order to pay for their airplay? Because these are artists that are getting airplay with or without you. They're getting airplay whether or not they sit down and do an interview with you. And the majority of the artists that you just named ain't sitting down with nobody. Rihanna has a higher likelihood of doing an interview on somebody's red carpet, which is that's all we see is fucking red carpet and backstage type footage of people coming up with a microphone where they get to, you got 90 seconds with Rihanna. Great. Don't nobody give a fuck about them interviews. She talking about her kids. She talking about A$AP Rocky and shit like that. J. Cole, that motherfucker would rather, he done released a goddamn audio series that's really a podcast, and he say, fuck it, I'd rather do that than come sit down with you niggas. Kendrick Lamar, the last couple Kendrick Lamar interviews, he sat down with who? Apple Music or some shit? He sat down with y'all niggas or fucking Zane Lowe. You know what I'm saying? BBC type shit. This nigga ain't coming around here. At least not, we're talking about, you know, the stuff that we can see. He did the Harper's Bazaar shit with SZA, of course. But Drake, you're not light enough to sit down with Drake. Jay-Z does interviews like every 5 years. Beyonce does even less. Right? So you're naming all of these examples as if, oh, I don't accept no money for pay to play on the radio, so that's why I'm not getting interviews with people. No, Hot 97 has no shortage of interviews. You just don't, these artists that you're talking about, these elite artists, they went through the press in their first 5 to 7, 10 years in the industry. These motherfuckers don't care about that shit no more. They run their own narrative because they run their own channels, whether that be via YouTube, whether that be via Instagram, Twitter, whatever the fuck platform they decide to go to, and they say, I'm going to disseminate this information. They run their ship and they keep that shit tight because all of these artists are subject to like crazy conspiracies, all types of different theories about how they got to where they at. They did this, they slept with this person, they sold this. So now they say, you know what? I'm not speaking to nobody. I'm just going to give my fans and the people that rock with me exactly what it is that I want you to have. I'm going to tell you exactly what I want you to know. And everything else, if it ain't come from me, is bullshit. And they're at the position where they can do that and it doesn't negatively impact their career. So this part is a complete misnomer from Ebro. He just wanted to pipe himself up real quick. Pause. Whatever.
Never sat with none of them people.
And Beyonce.
And I know them people. Like, I see them. I've known them. I've supported them. I've supported their music from incubation stage till now. Never, not once. Why? Because I don't work for iHeart. And by the way, that's okay. I'm good with that, right? But I say that to say that because I'm in media, I get thrown in that same pot with everyone. Oh, you took money. Oh, da-da-da. And I'm always like, yo, bro, if it's as easy as just paying to get your record popping, go. Do it. The truth of the matter is it's not that easy. You could probably pay to get your record played. To get popping, that's the people's decision.
Right, which is what happened with Not Like Us.
Yeah,
Not Like Us is fucking ringing off.
Yeah.
Because
couldn't buy
it
that.
is two different things. Because there are bot farms, like we know those exist.
Right.
That was weird. The bot farms are real. Like that happens. Like people can do numbers and whatever, and some number ones and number twos or what can seem kind of forced or not genuine. However, when people are making TikToks and clubs are going crazy and
Well,
things.
no, and even deeper than that, 16 weeks at number one, 18 weeks at number one. That when you see a record shoot up and then go away, that's how you say, okay, that was inflated.
Right.
Like, why did that record go up and go away? Why nothing stuck? Did the people really like it or nah? Right? And by the way, it could go both ways. People were super interested at first. They went in, checked it out. It shot up the charts and then went away because it was whack and people just wasn't fucking with it.
Right.
When you see a record stay around for an extended period of time,
that's organic.
That's the people.
Yeah.
And so all of that to say, let's watch where this goes. I think there is some great learning for people here at a very tumultuous time in the consumption, entertainment, streaming, blah business. A lot of changes taking place. But I think at the end of the day, for those of us who are here for the music and love hip-hop's in great hands right now.
This has been the most exciting year ever. You know it's real when you have to rearrange your whole day or your whole week to stop and listen to an album, right? That doesn't happen a lot. That's what Kendrick did with this album. It's crazy.
Well, and it's not some little kid bullshit. Like, it's not a TikTok trend that drove this.
Nah.
Hip-hop culture drove this, what we're seeing today. The desire for great lyrics, the desire for competition, the desire for like creativity and ingenuity and like thoughtfulness and art drove this, right? I think that's something that we should celebrate because it isn't just a viral trend that's like, you know, driven by some social media platform or some, you know, I don't know, reality TV show or some shit. You know what I'm saying? This is driven by hip hop.
And you know what I love about it too is there's a difference between black culture, rap, and hip hop.
Yeah.
A lot of times it intersects, a lot of times. And what Kendrick has been able to do throughout his career is show a deep appreciation for black culture. A lot of people love rap. A lot of people love hip hop. But even when you watch the video for TV Off, it's him integrating things like Soul Train and that little Black Panther.
Squabble Up.
Squabble Up, excuse me.
Yeah.
That for Soul Train, that little Black Panther thing we all had.
Everybody had one of those in the house.
It's like those little things that are so genuine to the black experience in America that Kendrick has highlighted throughout his career and makes you fully invested into his visuals, his music, and everything. Because a lot of these people just want to put the chains on and they want to rap, but Kendrick it seems deeply rooted in American blackness. And watching videos like that, it takes me back and it makes me just have a deeper appreciation for everything he's trying to execute.
Yeah, there's a lot of learnings too on Reincarnated. I'm not even gonna pretend. The artist whose journeys he was taking us through, I wasn't familiar with them.
Was that Barry Gordy and?
I think it was John Lee Hooker.
Oh, John Lee Hooker. Oh, okay.
And Dina Washington.
Okay.
I was
learning.
Blues artists. I didn't know like the things that they went through. So then I have to go back and research those artists and try to understand how he puts this all into perspectives. There's not a lot of projects that make me do that.
All right. I don't want to sit through the whole thing. I mean, we've talked about some of these same subject matters on this channel. I wanted to let them get their shit off a little bit because I do also want to make sure that we give the proper appreciation to GNX and, you know, allow people to get their shit off praising it because that's really the album of the moment. That's really what everybody was hoping to be focused on. Once it actually came out, people have been anticipating a project from Kendrick all year. And Drake, you know, he decided to take the opportune moment to say, okay, this nigga got an album out on Friday. I'm on your ass on Monday. We're going to start getting some reckoning around here because I need my motherfucking, I'm taking too many L's out here. You know, I took an L in the battle. I'm taking financial losses. I'm taking losses of endorsements. You know what I'm saying? People asking me about this PDF stuff, and y'all know I'm not that guy. I don't know how to dog die people. Well, that is the product of what you created. You wanted to sling mud, you got yourself dirty. That's the same thing Jay Prince tried to warn you about with Pusha T. You should have took your ball and went home before shit got too bad. Or you should have just kept it clean. You should have just went with bars, status. You know what I'm saying? You should have swagged it out a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe you should have made the bop first. You know, you just made a lot of mistakes. You weren't focused. I don't know if the Ozempic is doing it. I don't know if you got some other substances that are clouding your mind and your judgment, but shit just didn't work out the way that you planned, and that's just life, right? And now you want to try to put these allegations out there. You want to sue the label. You want to sue Spotify. You want to sue iHeartRadio and all these people, and then you want to put Kendrick Lamar at the epicenter of both of your grievances, as if, I mean, you said he was a smaller artist. You know what I'm saying? You said everybody in the industry got him wiped down, but all of a sudden, he's the crux of your existence. He's the thorn in your side that won't go away. How? I thought he was smaller than you. I thought no matter what you say, it always goes over his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that's what we were dealing with here. But now you're on people's streams in the comments talking about custard, not even being clever. But at least we know you listened to it. You definitely had your headphones on. You definitely said, pull that, hey man, that nigga dropped the album, pull it up on the big ones. What's he talking about? Damn, this nigga going in. Shit, what can I do? Damn, this nigga made an album full of bops. Fuck. 40 said, you want me to cut on some beats? He said, fuck them beats. Where's the paperwork? Boy, what to say, man? You know I got a folder for your ass, man. We can get back to business, baby. Say, fuck, we ain't doing no business until I get out of this goddamn contract. These motherfuckers paying this nigga top dollar. I'm supposed to be the nigga. It is crazy to watch that empire crumble over there. I know the hip-hop purists from 12, 15 years ago are looking at this with all the admiration in the world, saying we should have never let this nigga in. I was one of those people at one point in time. I actually became a fan of Drake, and it's kind of crazy to see how things have changed and, you know, just stained his legacy all in a year's time. Wow. But that's where we at this moment. We'll see December 20th what the judge says, how he's able to move forward, if they're going to start, you know, bringing people in, making it necessary for them to answer some of those questions that he has in that paperwork. And from that point, that's when everything is going to get extremely interesting, because if the judge says people got to start answering these questions and start opening up the books, start, you know, either validating or debunking what Drake's claims are, that's when we're going to see a lot of stuff start hitting the ground. That's the part I'm looking forward to, being that I do this show called Inside the Industry. You know, I have no connection to UMG. I have no connection to Drake. I have no connection to Kendrick Lamar outside of just musical output and consuming what they make. But outside of that, if shit takes a weird turn and we start seeing, you know, some sort of malpractice within the company or some shady dealings, we're gonna have to talk about it. I'm not sure if any of it will amount to what he's alleging, right? Again, we're pretty much under the impression that whatever he can uncover is the same shit that's been benefiting him from day one. But again, we'll cover it. We'll talk about it. We'll see what the implications are and go from there. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. First I'm out, I came back with some battery. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.